Every story appears ordinary till you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Good evening and welcome to CoreTV Primetime News. I am Omotayo Alo. Now on our major stories tonight. The Senate has again failed to screen former Rivers State Governor Rotimi Amechi for a cabinet position, adjourns plenary till Thursday. Also in this program, Senate Minority Leader Godswill Akpabio says his recent appearance at the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission was voluntary. Governor of Ekiti State, Ayodele Fayose, has questioned the integrity of the judiciary as he alleged them of godfatherism, sentiment, and a dispensation of justice. And on the foreign scene, South African Olympic and paramilic athlete Oscar Pistorius has been released under house arrest nearly 1 year after he was jailed for killing his girlfriend. Thank you so very much for joining us tonight. Now the news in full. The Senate has again failed to screen former Rivers State Governor Rotimi Amechi for a cabinet position, but instead screened two other ministerial nominees. Those who appeared before the Senate on Tuesday are Adebayo Shitu from Oyo State and Khadija Ibrahim, a three-time member of the House of Representatives and wife of the former governor of Yobe State, Abba Ibrahim. No reason was given for the failure to screen the former governor, but his name was initially on the order paper alongside 7 others before the list was printed out to 3. National Assembly correspondent Basia reports.
The Senate resumed plenary on Tuesday with the hope of screening more ministerial nominees after the confirmation of 18 others last week. Former Governor Amechi is one nominee that many Nigerians had expected to see being grilled by the senators. And when the order paper was issued, his name was among 8 listed for screening. But after a closed-door session, a new order paper was released with only 3 names without any explanation. First on the new list is Adebayo Shitu, whom many had expected to respond to questions of his indictment on a case of religious crisis and his alleged intolerance of other religions.
Were you ever indicted by a panel for religious intolerance in Oyo State, where there was disturbances, and when the state set up a committee, they found you guilty? If that is so, can you enlighten this chamber and the rest of Nigeria why somebody who has been indicted for religious intolerance will be made a minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, where you will serve everybody?
I was never invited and I was never alleged. There is no allegation, and there was also no indictment, because if you talk of an advice cannot be an indictment. I'm speaking here as a lawyer, and I know that even non-lawyers know that there's a difference between indictment and advice.
The second nominee to take the stand is Khadija Abba Ibrahim, the current member representing Damatura, Gujba, Gulani, and Tamua in the House of Representatives. The Oxford-educated politician is also the daughter of the Second Republic politician, Waziri Ibrahim. And it was drama all the way, from her colleagues who accompanied her from the lower chamber to the first and only question put forth by Senator Abba Ibrahim, who is also the nominee's husband.
My ever-loving wife, Minister Khadija Bukaraba Ibrahim, how will you react if, by virtue of what we have in your CV and the additional information you gave us, and the additional information I'm going to give, because all the 3 elections you had, nobody ever took you to the tribunal. How will you react if you are asked to just vow and go?
Distinguished colleague, is it the wish of the Senate that the nominee should take a leave and go? Distinguished colleague, is it the wish of distinguished colleague?
The Senate adjourned plenary at about 1:45 p.m. after announcing that further screening will take place on the next legislative date. Basiaye, CoreTV News, Abuja.
The Senate has put together a high-power delegation to condole with the government of Bayelsa State and the family of late former Governor Dipri Alamisia. The resolution follows a motion by the Senator representing Bayelsa West, Foster Ogola, and 17 others, which afforded the senators opportunity to eulogize the deceased. The delegation will be led by the Deputy Chief Whip, Francis Alimikane.
Those again saying the ayes have it. Matter of next legislative day.
Who shall affix his name at the beginning thereof? 2. A senator.
Alamisia was widely acknowledged as a voice of unity in the John Nation, the South-South geopolitical zone, and in the Nigerian nation. Alamisia was a governor and loving man whose death is not only a loss to Bayelsa State, the zone people, the South-South geopolitical zone in particular, but also to the entire Nigerian nation at large.
But death comes, and it takes whom it wants to take. Today, we have lost a great leader who in the past 16 years has put his feet down and be sure that the 4th largest ethnic group in Nigeria, which has been abandoned for this long, is remembered.
The resolution which we are demanding is very simple, just 2 items. For Senate to join Bayelsans in mourning the loss of this great son, not only of Bayelsa, but indeed the country.
Senate Minority Leader and former Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Godswill Akpabio, says his recent appearance at the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission was voluntary. Akpabio, who stated this while speaking with National Assembly correspondent, explained that claims of his arrest were false. The Senate Minority Leader argued that he was granted administrative bail after responding to questions on alleged misappropriation of state funds. Ex-Minister of Interior Abba Moro has been summoned and is being grilled by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission over the 2014 ill-fated recruitment into the Nigerian Immigration Service, which claimed more than 16 lives across several recruitment centers in the country. Moro was taken into EFCC custody on Monday in the Abuja office of the anti-graft agency. It could be recalled that over 700,772 applicants paid the sum of 1,000 each to write a test for an employment slot of just 4,000. Although in the public apology statement made by his ex-minister to Nigerians on the 7th of April 2014, Moro had said that he took responsibility over the bad organization of the recruitment exercise that led to the death of many youth seeking employment into the service. Also, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has opened its case on the money laundering charges filed against former Imo State Governor Ikedi Ohakem at the Federal High Court, Abuja. The commission had on July 8 arraigned Ohakim after accusing him of using public funds in excess of 270 million naira to purchase a property at Asokoro in Abuja. AFCC witness Ishaya Daudu, who was led in evidence by prosecution counsel Festus Keyamo, told the court that when the former governor was questioned, he denied ownership of the property. He added that further investigation, however, showed that Ohakim purchased the mansion without banking transactions and that it contravenes the Money Laundering Act. Presiding Judge Justice Adeni Ademola admitted statements tendered by the witness as evidence and adjourned the matter to November 12 and 13 for cross-examination.
The new administration of criminal justice law has helped us now to fully concentrate on our trials. What you would have seen before the passage of this law would have been that the business of the court this day would have been the argument of all kinds of objections. And then the trial will be adjourned for under 8 years while they go on appeal. But the takeoff of this law has helped us to kick off, and it has shown that we are taking the fight against corruption a bit more seriously now.
So many petitions, thinking maybe there was some embezzlement of government money. Are you not surprised to hear that there was no government money being mentioned? Nothing. And now they are talking about a house which he bought after he left office. There is no story in it. And even the person who said he bought, he paid, the people are not here to testify. So the matter is moving well as far as we are concerned.
Members of the House of Representatives want the federal government to recover all revenues payable to the Federation account from the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation and its joint ventures partners. Moving the motion at the Tuesday's plenary, Osia Nicholas argued that the NNPC and oil companies operating in Nigeria are expected to fund the joint venture operations and share the oil produced and all the benefit. Pius Samuel has all the details.
The members of the House are worried over what they describe as squandering of oil proceeds by individuals. They are concerned that what should regularly accrue to the nation from the joint venture operations is not getting to the Federation account. The federal lawmakers argued that constitutional provisions that stipulates that all collectible revenues are to be paid into the account may have been breached.
And this crude have been transporting and payments are made for this transportation. And that is what is called haulage. Haulage is a process through which you use the tankers to convey this transportation of crude. Now, this remittance has been going on over the years, where millions of dollars have been carted into people's pockets without remitting it to the Federation account, in line with Section 162, subsection 1 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. This collusion has been going on over the years. We have raised the issue in the 12th Assembly. Nothing was done.
Other members also threw their weight behind the motion, but they also want revenues from marine transportation, haulage and pipeline transportation, which form part of the joint venture operations, accounted for.
There's a huge corruption in the JVC arrangement, where our multinational company, those who have signed an agreement with the Federal Republic of Nigeria, have looked for a way, a loophole, to siphon our resources. Today, if you look around, look at the infrastructure in our land, where you have JVC, when they have already decided to deceive, to deceive Nigeria of what belongs to them through a dubious means.
If the Nigerian government has fulfilled its own obligations, there is no reason why our JV partners should not fulfill their own.
I believe that the committee responsibility is to find out specifically what has happened to these particular funds, and if somebody somewhere or any company is collecting these funds without remitting our own shares of the federal government, into our federation account, then it becomes the responsibility of the committee to recover these funds.
After an in-depth debate, few amendments were made on the bill. And at the end, Speaker Yakubu Dogara referred the motion to the committees on petroleum, upstream and downstream for further legislative input.
Just move your amendment.
Pius Samuel, CoreTV News, Abuja.
And we'll be back with more stories after the break.
This is what the people are saying.
You don't run a big economy with generator. They need to do more in terms of energy and power.
Many things to do for this Nigeria about lights, water, and new TT.
For Nigerians that are not gullible, we know that good laws have done nothing good for this country.
Buhari won the election convincingly.
They talk to our husband that you should keep promise about what you said, and because people are watching you, you know, another election is coming.
Because some people will stand for Yoruba land, will be strong man, we don't die.
This nation is moving forward. The best is going to take place.
The people giving voice to the voiceless.
Some pundits believe that as long as the political system is driven by selected few, corruption may be difficult to fight.
You should be careful about what you say.
I am not the only politician. Even if I'm wrong, if I've wronged anyone, it is time to forgive me.
Political Arena every Sunday at 9:15 p.m. and a repeat broadcast every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m.
Welcome, and if you're just joining us at CoreTV Primetime News, here's a quick reminder of our top stories. We told you earlier that the Senate has again failed to screen former Rivers State Governor Rotimi Amechi for a cabinet position and adjourns plenary till Thursday. Senate Minority Leader Godswill Akpabio says his recent appearance at the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission was voluntary. Governor of Ekiti State, Ayodele Fayose, has questioned the integrity of the judiciary as he alleged them of godfatherism sentiment in the dispensation of justice. And for more of our news and information, you could visit our social media platform, facebook.com/CoreTV News, our Twitter handle at CoreTV News NG. You could get more on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/CoreTV, Liverspace and News. Governor of Ekiti State, Ayodele Fayose, has questioned the integrity of the judiciary as he alleged them of godfatherism sentiment in the dispensation of justice. The judiciary was, however, admonished to be upright while discharging their duties. Rashid has more.
The 2015-2016 legal year in Ekiti State was kicked off with a special service at the Cathedral Church of Emmanuel in Ado-Ekiti. Bishop of Ekiti Diocese, Reverend Christopher Omotunde, seized the moment to plead with judges to uphold sincerity while dispensing justice.
And when we people, lay people, bring our case before you, we are seeking for the truth. It is the truth that will make you to pronounce judgment. You don't pronounce judgment before the truth.
For the state's governor, the judiciary should stay clear of corrupt practices, adding that godfatherism currently stands as a bane to judicial practice.
Some cases were and are still being assigned to judges by their godfathers in the judiciary purposely to do hatchet jobs against the innocent. Godfatherism is still in judiciary as well. What they can do, they give it to their subordinates in the judiciary. Go and do it, I will protect you.
Meanwhile, the Chief Judge of the state, Ayodeji Jaramola, congratulated judiciary workers on the new legal year while urging them to be at their best on resumption.
Judges don't address press. I welcome you to the 2015-16 legal year. Thank you.
Judiciary should get better, and at the end of the day, justice must not only be done, but must be seen and manifestly seen to have been done.
With the many judicial cases begging for attention in the state, Ekiti residents are hopeful for a turnaround in the judiciary as the interpreters of law resumes from holiday. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ado Ekiti.
And few days after Igbos in Ekiti State declared unflinching support for Governor Ayodele Fayose, some of them may be getting set for a showdown with the government and what they describe as undue heavy taxation burden, while the alleged jack-up of tax from 5,500 naira to 120,000. The State Revenue Board says it's about personal income tax, which must be paid individually. Rashid has all the details.
That was the rally by the Igbo community in Ekiti State singing in support of the Ayodele Fayose's government. But now, the reverse is the case. The protesters who are shop owners at the popular Bank Road in Ado Ekiti who had their shops closed have alleged the state revenue body of hiking their tax fee from 5,500 naira to 120,000 naira.
Already agreed to pay the sum of 5,500 as an income tax based on our association level, and we have agreed and we go there to pay this money, of which they rejected the money that they can't stand on, that agreement does not stand again, that we should wait until the new directive comes, and we are waiting for them to address us on how to proceed on what on the amount to pay if the first agreement wasn't enough. To our surprise this morning, they came sealing our shop.
In defense of their action, the State Revenue Board says the traders were charged personal income tax, a claim debunked by the traders.
The traders, they are telling lie. That 5,000 is not from this office. Maybe it's from business premises. We are talking about the personal income tax now.
They give us at 120,000, 90,000, 80,000. The least there is 80,000, 5,000 naira.
Muscle, the meeting held by the traders' leadership and State Revenue Board met a brick wall.
We have assessed them. So they should go and collect the assessment for notice and go to bank and pay their revenue.
They told us categorically that they can't do anything about that, that unless we proceed to the governor and explain ourselves to the governor. And this is what we are, and we are marching straight to the governor's house. Boys, oh yeah!
Judging from the unfolding events, the end is surely not in sight, with a once cordial friendship gradually turning sour. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ado Ekiti.
The Accountant General and the Permanent Secretary in the Plateau State Ministry for Finance have been invited by the House Committee on Finance in the Plateau State House of Assembly to explain the need and workability of the 10 billion naira loan the governor is asking the House to approve. The details. After the rowdy session last week in the Plateau State House of Assembly, when the request for 10 billion naira loan from Governor Lalong was read, it was agreed that the Accountant General and Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Finance, be called to explain the need of the proposed loan. According to the Accountant General, the loan will be sourced from the crude oil account that is available for any state that is interested in sourcing the facility.
Instead of going to the commercial banks to borrow, you have this excess crude account. You can collateralize it now. Let it be like a collateral for the state that wants to access this 10 million. We'll give you at 9%. So that if you default, since you have a share in the excess crude oil account, the day you default will take your portion of the excess crude oil account. But it's not to be shared today. It's not to be shared maybe next month or next year. We don't know when. But since you have a challenge, you can borrow from this excess crude account. We use it as a collateral for state A, B, C, D.
He added that more than 26 states have already indicated interest and their demand is being processed by the central bank. The Permanent Secretary Finance Rauta Dokok While responding to the need for the loan, said the internally generated revenue in the state are no longer accessible because the revenue had been tied to initial loan facilities collected by the Jonajang administration, and that's the House to help the state access the 10 billion naira loan.
Permanent Secretary and the AG, you hasten with the work plan so that when you go back to that with the Ministry of Works, you did as you told us here, so that by Tuesday we present our report.
However, residents are worried that the continuous collection of loans by each administration in the state will only further mortgage its future. The court and the government to ensure corruption as they judiciously utilize every loan or revenue that comes to the state. And wife of the president, Aisha Buhari, is convinced that workable steps aimed at helping the average Nigerian girl child have access to education will halt the trend of kidnapping and early marriage. She said this at an event to mark the International Day of Girl Child in Abuja. Aisha Buhari, who was represented by the wife of the vice president, Dolapo Shimbajo, also urged the authorities to take a stand for the girl child.
Child marriage is a controversial topic in Nigeria that is practiced across the country, both in the south and in the north. However, statistics show that the northern states have over 50% of girls married before the age of 15. Conservative religious interpretations, illiteracy, poverty, combined with retrogressive traditional beliefs and cultural perceptions about the family and the role of women in society are the main drivers of child marriage. This quote is taken from Girls Not Bride report of 2013. Child marriage affects the health, education, economic condition, and increases domestic violence on girls. All of these inhibit girls from achieving their full potential, and in turn affects our society and economy in the medium and the long run.
I encourage us that our discussions should be gender sensitive and responsive to marginalized groups, address power and income inequalities, have potential of leading to systemic transformative change. It may be context-specific in terms of a specific community around within the country, or it can be a solution that is Nigeria-specific. In line with our organizational culture, it must be developed through a participatory and inclusive process, responsive to the priorities of the affected person.
As the race to the Lugard House, Kogi State Government House, heats up, the political environment in the state is getting charged as an attempt to bomb the house and all the property belonging to the All Progressives Congress governorship candidate, Prince Aldu Abubakar, was foiled by the police at the weekend. Disclosing this in Lokoja, the head of the media, Prince Abubakar Aldu campaign organization, Tom Ohikere, said armed hoodlums attempted to bomb a house and petrol station belonging to the former governor. The police authorities have perfected plans to deploy additional manpower to Kogi and Bayelsa states to ensure crime-free election in both states. Police spokesperson Olabisi Kolawole said in a statement that Inspector General Solomon Arashi has also directed the deployment of Federal Special Anti-Robbery Squad to complement the safer highway patrol. This is to ensure proper policing of the length and breadth of the nation's highway. The police spokesperson said Arashi told members of the police management team in his office that the measures are necessary to ensure proper monitoring of activities leading to a hitch-free election. And following the successful containment of the Ebola scourge in Nigeria, a book chronicling how the Lagos state government eradicated the pandemic is being distributed to the public. At a forum in Lagos, the former governor of Lagos State, Babatunde Raji Fashola, says teamwork and information dissemination are key to putting the Ebola scourge at bay permanently. Our correspondent Netu Elabari has details of the book presentation. The report is taken from our studios.
The World Health Organization, WHO, describes Ebola as a viral illness with symptoms like sudden fever, diarrhea, muscle pain, and a sore throat. It affects humans through close contacts with infected animals, human to human through infected blood, body fluids, or organs. The dreaded disease was brought into Nigeria last year by Liberian Patrick Sawyer, who flew to Nigeria to attend the conference. And in trying to combat the disease and restrict others from contracting it, the patient and the dutiful Dr. Stella Adadevo lost their lives. The WHO, in what has been described as a peculiar success story, declared Nigeria an Ebola-free nation, urging other countries faced with the challenge of containing the pandemic to learn from Nigeria's experience. The former governor of Lagos State says combating the virus was achieved through concerted efforts.
That was a great team effort. It was a great national effort. It was a time when our national interests almost totally obliterated our political differences. Limitedly populated those rural areas where, especially in some parts of East and Central Africa, where the virus was first detected many years ago. The survival rates were so poor.
While the spread of the contagious disease was being curtailed by medical experts, the government embarked on a publicity blaze to educate the public on how to avoid being affected by the Ebola virus.
We showed courage, but courage didn't mean that we were not afraid. That was fair, but we couldn't jump ship because our jobs were to save lives. That's the primary responsibility that we have. It's a constant battle between what I call wellness and illness. And for wellness to win, there are certain things that we ourselves must do. Our sanitary habits must improve.
The editor of the book shares his enthusiasm in writing a remarkable book on the deadly scourge.
Record's sake, and in order to boost the knowledge base of the citizenry, we decided to come out with this because you know that, as they say, that all knowledge is historical.
Now that the outbreak is officially over in Nigeria, it is expedient to continue to be vigilant to check suspected case or cases of any deadly diseases by keeping our environment clean and staying healthy.
Environmental activists want the federal government to implement laws that will tackle gas flaring and oil spills in the Niger Delta region. This forms the submission of experts at a forum organized to address the environmental emergency in oil-producing areas in Abuja. Speaking on the sideline of the event, the Director General of National Oil Spill Detection and Response Agency, Peter Idabo, and Country Director of Stakeholder and Democracy Network in Myanmar, Samihama, say the directive of President Muhammad Buhari on the cleanup of the oil spills in Ogoniland must be followed with action. And members of the Trade Union Congress of Nigeria have vowed to resist reported plans by electricity distribution companies in the country to increase tariff by 49.4%. TUCU President Bolbel Bala Kalgama describes the reported plans as wrong and lacks human face, especially in view of the present harsh economic realities in the land. According to TUC, a number of proposals have already been submitted to the Electricity Nigeria Regulatory Commission, NERC, pursuant to this objective. We'll take a break now and we'll be back with more. Stay with us.
Is it crazy or autocracy? Or what type of crazy is that? Except crazy.
News making the headlines.
Black Maria is to carry criminals, trading looters that are in government today.
Sometimes it gets confrontational.
Slap you in the face. Excuse me, don't put words into my mouth. Whatever it is that will bring our military to disrepute, I said to hell.
On Core Digest,
I want to know why I should be believing them.
Every weekday, we'll bring all of these together and take them to the court of public opinion.
Everybody has a right in Nigeria.
Where you are the judge.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime News.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on Digit 360. 2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world again?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions.
Welcome. And on the foreign scene, Oscar Pistorius, South African Olympic and Paralympic athlete Oscar Pistorius has been released on the house arrest nearly 1 year after he was jailed for killing his girlfriend. Pistorius, 28, was found guilty of culpable homicide and manslaughter of his 29-year-old girlfriend at the trial in October last year. He shot Reva Steenkamp through a locked bathroom door in 2013, but said he thought she was an intruder. Ms. Steenkamp's relatives say they think Pistorius is getting off lightly. At least 45 people have been killed in Russian airstrikes on a rebel-held area of northwestern Syria. The Syrian Observatory for Human Rights reported that Russian warplanes bombed the rugged Jabal al-Qard region of Talkia province on Monday afternoon. The commander of a Western-backed Free Syrian Army brigade and the families of rebels were among the dead, it added. Russia said it had targeted Islamic State militants in Latakia on Monday. However, activists say the jihadist group has little or no presence in the coastal province, which is a stronghold of President Bashar al-Assad's Alawite sect. The Malad's top court has overturned a sentence of death by stoning issued to a woman found guilty of adultery. The woman, who reportedly gave birth out of wedlock, was convicted by a magistrate court on Sunday. The island nation has previously issued flogging sentences to those convicted of extramarital sex. Report added that the sentence to death by stoning was unprecedented in the country, which is known as luxury tourist destination. Extramarital sex is illegal in the Maldives, though the ban does not apply to tourists. And in sport, the Sport Writers Association of Nigeria, SWAN Lagos Charter, has congratulated DG Tinubu on his appointment as Special Advisor to the Governor on Sport and Chairman, Lagos State Sports Commission. In a statement signed by the Secretary Emma Njoku, Chairman of the Association, Fred Edore described Tinubu's appointment as a square peg in a square hole, stressing that he would steer Lagos State back to greater heights in sport. Edore, who commended Governor Akinwumi Ambode for the choice of the A-sports journalist and former executive board member of the Nigerian Football Federation as the sports commissioner, said the appointment clearly demonstrates the positive vision the present administration has for sport and indeed the youth in the state. And it's a wrap on CoreTV Primetime News, but before we go, here is a quick reminder of our top stories. We told you earlier that the Senate has again failed to screen former Rivers State Governor Rotimi Amechi for a cabinet position and adjourns plenary till Thursday. And Senate Minority Leader Godswill Akpabio says his recent appearance at the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission was voluntary. Governor of Ekiti State, Ayodele Fayose, has questioned the integrity of the judiciary as he alleged them of godfatherism sentiment in the dispensation of justice. Thank you so very much for joining us tonight. My name is Omotayo Alo. Have a good night rest.